Here at Baldwin headquarters, the crowd is watching in anticipation to see if Wisconsin's vacant Senate seat will stay in Democratic hands. The crowd is looking enthusiastic tonight because if elected, Baldwin would become Wisconsin's first female senator and also the first openly gay senator ever elected. Only time will tell, but early numbers are looking in her favor. Live in Madison, Ryan Burk, WISN 12 News. It was here in the Milwaukee County Courthouse where a power failure caused the 911 system to go down yesterday evening. However, thanks to Waukesha County, 911 service for the entire community was still upheld. While this summer's drought left much of the state looking brown and colorless, this fall is certainly painting a much prettier picture as leaves begin to peak earlier than ever before. Fortunately for the state's tourism industry, they're able to cash in. Despite challenges faced from protesters, President Obama says Chicago proved an excellent host city for the NATO summit. It says that NATO leaders are returning home with a renewed sense of strength in the alliance. Ryan Burk, CBS News, Chicago. Hey there, it's intern Ryan out here at Pewaukee High School where the fans are watching in anticipation tonight to see if TJ Watt and the Pirates can finish off their season with a perfect 8-0 record. We'll see if that happens tonight as they take on Cudahy. While church is supposed to be a place of peace and solitude, here at St. Hyacinth on the south side, things have been far from peaceful following a robbery and shooting last night. For many college students, the idea of renting a boat is a great way to beat the summer heat. However, the truth is, if you don't know exactly what you're doing, it could prove very dangerous. Just like here on Lake Geneva, all you need to rent a boat exactly like this one is a copy of a valid driver's license. Now, the idea that there aren't more safety precautions in place is something that's causing a stir with both lawmakers and seasoned boat owners. A dramatic rescue this afternoon in South Milwaukee after a woman out for a walk fell part of the way down a cliff. Now, beachgoers nearby say they heard the woman's screams for help and then called 911. Firefighters were then able to rescue the woman using ropes and a safety basket system.
We got her on a longboard, got an IV in her and got some pain management to the patient through some medications, and then we got her into the Stokes basket and through the use of a rope system lowered her down to the beach.
Firefighters say the woman is expected to be okay and has been transported to a local hospital. From Grant Park in South Milwaukee, Ryan Burk, CBS 58. While it may have been a less than stellar performance by the Wauwatosa East Red Raiders Friday night, that certainly didn't stop those in attendance from coming out to show their school spirit. That includes Governor Scott Walker, who came out to cheer on his son Alex as he took the field in this important matchup. After surviving a recall and protest at the Capitol, Governor Walker was looking forward to seeing his son play here at Wauwatosa East. However, at the back of his mind is the fact that Act 10 was overturned by a Dane County judge earlier today. While teachers in Chicago are in the middle of a lengthy strike, educators back here in Wisconsin expressed gratitude this afternoon that Dane County Judge Juan Coles ruled the bill that would take away collective bargaining for all teachers to be unconstitutional. During the halftime break back at Wauwatosa East, the governor told me he was not concerned by today's ruling.
The Attorney General of the state, J.B. Van Hollen, Department of Justice, have made a very compelling case. We believe just as other challenges have faced up to the challenge, ultimately we're going to see this be upheld when it gets to the state Supreme Court. But it's an activist judge in Dane County. Unfortunately, we've seen that in the past, but when it gets to the statewide Supreme Court, we'll be upheld.
Despite the stress of having to begin yet another appeal process, the governor told me he was enjoying having a night to relax and watch his son play football.
It's a lot of fun. It's a nice getaway to watch what's going on, and I've got one who's a freshman at college who played last year, so it's nice to see my last one here at high school.
From Wauwatosa East High School, Ryan Burk, WISN 12 News. For Port Washington resident Jeff Showalter, this garden has been a big part of his life for the past several years. However, if a new proposal passes in the Common Council for the city, this garden could be a thing of the past. 3 years ago, when Jeff first began planting his garden along Wisconsin Street, he could have never imagined the amount of admirers it would have.
And it would have like motorcycle gangs coming doing this stuff to me. They had people from South America, a man from Syria, and a man from Denmark. And I had like ladies yelling at car windows at me, saying they liked my flowers. And it was overwhelming.
Last month, however, Jeff's enthusiasm changed when he learned that the city of Port Washington could be trying to bring an end to this award-winning garden.
I think you want blocks and blocks of people putting flowers and bushes and so forth on parkway areas because it would be a little bit difficult then for cars parking along a parkway than to get out.
Now, the city administrator says the village already has an ordinance on the books that prohibits residents from planting anything other than grass in their parkways. But up until now, the city has never threatened Jeff's flowers.
The city has basically just chosen to ignore those situations since we have not ever had complaints about that.
But the city's lack of enforcement could change starting next week with a new proposal that would reduce the maximum grass height from 12 inches to 8 inches, which just might be enough to send the plant police out to cut down this disabled man's prized garden.
I think the city attorney, he seems to take some joy in this. And I don't know if he's the one that came up with the 6 pages of rules.
Turns out these new rules could actually prove devastating to Jeff's health, considering he began gardening as a low-cost alternative to physical therapy.
The purpose of what I'm doing here is just to stretch my muscles out. And if the mayor would want this island here eliminated, it would kind of like wreck my therapy somewhat.
As far as Jeff sees it, the city should focus on cleaning up their own land near the entrance to town before they begin targeting residents. The city administrator responds by saying the city is still pruning their landscape law proposal. Now, the Port Washington Common Council is expected to vote next Tuesday. Reporting from Port Washington, Ryan Burk for 10 at 10.